All right, I'm going to make that bigger. Good afternoon, folks, and welcome. I am Sean. Sean in Alaska. I'm on vacation. Today is officially my last day of vacation, and I didn't get anything done the whole week. I was just absolutely lazy. For anybody who joins this live after the live is over, so if you see the live afterwards, feel free to watch the whole thing. I set it up so that over here on the side where all the comments are, you can see the comments, and I'll answer as many of those as I possibly can if anybody has a question. So you might learn something, or you might just get to see what this is like and want to be here when we're live again. Let me know how the audio and video is over in the side chat, if you guys would, before I get up to the top. What I like to do here is I like to say hello to everybody that's in the channel that makes a comment on the side. But if you don't make a comment, don't feel obligated to. You don't have to. Let me turn this other light on too. But obviously, I can't say hello to you if you don't make the comment. So let me get over here. Turn this light on. There we go. And if you ask a question and it looks like I have gone by the question and I've missed it, do me a favor and ask it again in all caps. If I've already answered it by the time I get to that question, I'll just skip over it. It's not a big deal at all. Michigan Daffodil says she can't stay. But wanted to say hello. Have a blessed weekend. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. That is super awesome. I guess the audio and video is good, so we'll call it great as far as that goes. Before I get everything started here, let me get the banner going. It's been crazy cold. It's been crazy cold in Alaska. Sunrise was at 8:04 a.m. Sunset is at 8:19 p.m. for a total of 12 hours and 15 minutes of daylight. We have gained a little more than 45 minutes of daylight in the last week. The low temperature in Funny River this morning was -5, and our high is going to be 24, or was 24, somewhere in there. Winter seems to be hanging on, but losing the battle daily, which is super, super exciting. Yay. It's been one of the coldest winters on record up here for its longevity for the interior, definitely, and also for down here on the Kenai Peninsula. Let me... Oh, Molly's over there chewing on something on the couch. Molly, say hi. Come here. Come on up and say hi. Good girl. Good girl. Kisses. Thank you very much. It's been absolutely ridiculous. So, like, this week has been relatively mild. We've been below zero every morning that I've woken up, except I think one. But the week before, we were like 20 below zero every morning. But every day, the temperature... because we have so much sunshine, the temperature just keeps going up. So the cold weather's losing it's losing the battle slowly but surely. And over the next 5 days, in my quick forecast on the phone, we're going to be in the 30s every day, which is absolutely... I miss the ground. I miss seeing the ground. Linda was the first one in here from Lipstick Lodge. Awesome to see you, Linda. Hope you are doing well. Ward, what's up, brother? I do have way too much time on my hands. Like I said, I was pretty lazy all week. I did, though... when we did that live and we brewed that beer, guess what I did yesterday? You ready? Yeah, that's what I did yesterday. I cleaned all the bottles. I bottled up all the beer. So I ended up getting 23 of the 22-ounce bottles and 12, 14, 16 of the 12-ounce bottles. And I always taste it before I start to bottle it. It's super flat at that point, but it will give me an idea of what the flavor's like and what the aroma is going to be like, and it was delicious. Oh my gosh, it was yummy. I've done a lot of food over the last week. Linda says we had a bunch of snow this morning, more on the way tomorrow, Monday. Oh no, I am so sorry to hear that. Linda has my scone recipe. I know raspberries are sourish, but I like them. I want them instead of raisins, just to add the raspberries. You might want to take the raspberries and kind of break them up a bit first, and then freeze them, and then put them in there frozen so that they don't like go all over the place when you're mixing it together. That's what I would do with that recipe. You don't have to put any fruit in it at all, but raspberries are yummy. I agree. Raspberries is sour fruit to begin with. The only time raspberries are really sweet, generally speaking, is when you do add some kind of sugar to them. So it'll be a nice contrast with the sweetness of the scone and the tartness of the raspberries. Maybe put a little cream on those too. That would be delicious. That would be yummy. Excuse me saying don't get too jealous, but I'm sitting in the southwest coast of beautiful BC, and it's a balmy 16 degrees in the first day of sun since the Pineapple Express. That is crazy. Back-to-back rainstorm. You guys have been getting a lot of moisture. So has the tail end of Alaska. The panhandle of Alaska has been just getting hammered with snow. Oh my gosh, they've been getting a lot of snow. Everybody saying hi to everybody. And excuse me again with just starting the garden and needed something quick, so I'm having a backwards breakfast with homemade latkes. I did look it up after I asked the question. Latkes are potato pancakes, roughly, but they're like hash browns, like shredded potatoes with green onion in them. They're absolutely delicious. They're absolutely yummy. One of my favorite. I love potatoes for breakfast every morning. He makes a large batch and freezes them. The question came up, do I ever freeze my baking there, or is it just too good to resist? I usually try not to bake in quantities that I'm not going to finish. And like with those little apple pie things that I baked a couple of weeks ago, I devoured those. Those were gone so quick, it was crazy. So they didn't last long. Michael, what's happening, my friend? It is awesome to see you today. This is it, MJH. Awesome to have you here as well. Yep. Latkes for everyone. Those potato thingies are delicious. I put lots of chopped up onions in mine. Very cool. Yummy. Charles and Annalyn, welcome. Glad to see you guys. Hope everything is well for you. Sarge Fry, you beat it. The countdown. So I've been very terrible about posting ahead of time when I'm going to go live, and I don't know if it would make any difference if I posted like a day before, like on Thursday, that I was going to go live on Friday. I don't know if that would help, but we'll try that next week and see, so that maybe you guys will all get the notification a little bit sooner. But honestly, I had to run to town real quick to pick up something for dinner tonight because I didn't feel like throwing anything out. And I literally got home like at 2:15 my time, and I had 45 minutes to get everything set up. The picture for this week's thumbnail for the live was actually me driving home, and I go, I need a picture. Snap off the windshield. All right, Christy, you never tell me it's your birthday when I'm doing something like this, when I'm live on the internet, because happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Christy, happy birthday to you. And now everybody knows why Sean doesn't sing for a living. Karen, welcome. Glad to see you today. Glad you can make it. I hope you are doing well. Stan, welcome, my friend. It is great to see you today. Everybody saying happy birthday to Kristen. Cake for everyone, right? If I'd have known it was your birthday, I'd have baked a cake today. Renee, welcome. Awesome to see you today. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Spring So Ready, right? Today is officially the first day of spring. As of 6:42 a.m. this morning in Alaska, we hit the spring equinox, and the days are, there's more light now than there is dark. So super awesome. I love that. Beto, welcome, my friend. Great to see you today. Glad you can make it. Everybody's saying hi to everybody else. I love that part of this. I'm looking over here at the side chat because I can read that a lot easier than I can read this, even with these silly glasses. Everybody's saying hi, hi, hi. Special shout out to Lynn at Lipstick Lodge. What's happening, my friend? It is awesome to see you today. Glad you can make it. I'm going to butcher the name, though. GT Junior grows in Alaska. That's my guess. I hope I'm right. Thank you very much for that. The thumbs up does help the channel, but it also helps when we're live like this, because when somebody logs into YouTube, if they don't have a destination they're going to, you'll get to your YouTube homepage, and it might suggest the live. So, you know, if enough people are hitting the thumbs up on it. Perfect. All is well with the audio and video. Good, because we're a little late at that point. I've already taken off and started going. Excuse me saying sound is good. Ward, good question. You see that one behind me on the table back there? That's number 10. That's the last arch, and it's done. I've got all the arches done. Tomorrow that will be dry. I will haul it out and put it in the shed with the other 9 that are out there. And I have all the arches built for this year's greenhouse. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. I'm probably, because the temperatures are coming up and we're going to be nicer weather, I'm probably going to try and lay it out on the flat ground out front and get my, you know, where my ridge beam's going to be on that, and get the edges over it so that I can get it drawn off and cut them and have them ready to just slap up when spring comes and I'm ready to go. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. That's going to be a ton of fun. I did get that done. Joe, what's happening, brother? It's awesome to see you. Happy Friday to you as well. We'll do the Fridays for a couple of weeks, and you guys let me know how it works out. I like the idea of when I'm working, I'll get off of work, I'll come home, I'll get a few things organized around the cabin, and then I'll go live. And then I don't interrupt my Sunday, which I refer to as a school night because I got to work on Monday. It gives me a little bit more time to finish any projects I might be in the middle of doing. But let me know if this works out for you or if this is a nightmare. I guess I'll be able to tell by how many folks are in here right now. I show 33 people in here, which is awesome. Carolyn, welcome. It is awesome to see you from Tyler, Texas, mid 80s today. That's insane. My kids live in California, and a buddy of mine, Mark, lives in Northern California, just north of my daughter, and my youngest daughter Ashley. And he said they were expecting 92 degrees yesterday. That is absolutely. I would die. I would die. I'm jealous. I can finally see the ground in my garden beds, but it's still too cold to plant. It's coming. It's coming. I can't even see the ground yet. I just want to see. I want to see the ground again. Right? Yeah, that was a great haul on that. I ended up with just over 5 gallons. Hang on a second. I'll give you the particulars on it. Well, I can just tell you right here. So, when we were live, I did the specific gravity reading, which is that will tell me what my potential alcohol will be in a beer when it's fermenting, but it will also tell me when the beer is done fermenting. I let it go longer. I probably could have done it last weekend. I probably could have bottled it then, but because it's so cold in the cabin, I wanted to make sure I got as much ferment done as possible. The final gravity without an adjustment for temperature was 1.010. We started at 1.045, I think. But the alcohol potential, the alcohol by volume of that beer is going to be 4%, roughly around 4%, which is good. I didn't want a crazy 5 or 6% beer. I wanted something that I could have when I get home from work, fire up the grill, sit down and have dinner outside. So yeah, I was really happy with the yield on that. 64 in Philly with light rain for Joe. Oh, you like that? Narwhal. This is from Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. And this is their Imperial Stout is called Narwhal. They have some great beers there. They're out of Chico, California. They do some real well, and I guess South Carolina is where their other plant is on the East Coast, where their other brewery is. But they do some incredible beers. They have a beer called Ruthless Rye that is by far my favorite beer that I've ever had. It's a rye ale, and it's just incredible. Sandra Volmer, welcome. Glad you can make it today. It took me a second there to read that name out. Alicia Neverett, how are you? Alicia from Sonora, California. It is awesome to see you. That's my old stomping grounds. That's where I moved from Sonora, California to Funny River, Alaska. And I've known Alicia for a long time. Crazy Backyard Chicken, man. How you doing, my friend? It is awesome to see you today. She is not. Molly is not too small at all, Alicia. She's getting bigger. Hopefully she's not going to get a whole lot bigger though, because right now she's like, oh, maybe Aussie size. And she's got a lot of the Aussie traits, but she gets mad at me all the time too, because like this week, I'm telling you, I was going to bed late. I was waking up late. I think I went to bed at like 10:30 one night. I never stay up that late. And I woke up one morning at 9. I was like, oh my God. But obviously my body needed the rest. But yeah, she likes to growl and bark at me when I don't take her outside right away. So yeah, she's a great pup. She's a great pup. Yeah, right. I'll have Ward over to taste one, then you guys can all get a report from Ward on Alive on how it was. Yeah, see, as 1:30 today, it was 90 degrees in Sonora. That's nuts. That is crazy. My oldest daughter lives in Tuolumne, and yeah, she's been sick as a dog for like the last week, and she just keeps messaging me going, it's one thing to be sick, but it's hot and I'm miserable. So now that it's gone into the bottle, I want to give it a minimum of 3 weeks before I give it a taste. So now all it's doing is it's conditioning in the bottle and it's building the carbonation up. So I want to give it a minimum of 3 weeks before I taste the first one, and I'll use the 12-ounce bottles as tasters. So probably 4 weeks, Ward. So next month, which would be nice because that means we could probably have it outside. It'll be warm enough, hopefully. Welcome from Trondheim, Norway. Not at work tonight. The time is 12:16 in the morning. You go to bed soon. How's Molly? Molly's doing great. If you missed her, hey, where you at, Bobby? Somebody wants to say hi. Come on, come on, get up here. Here, let me pull this out of the way. Molly's doing good. She's a good puppy. It's good kisses. Good kisses. This is a good girl. All right, I'm all caught up to all the comments. Awesome. So what do you guys got for me? Oh, let me say this first. So I was kind of shocked today to see the news that we lost Chuck Norris. What an awesome, awesome guy. And I grew up watching his movies as a kid, but I think he became much more famous as he got older because of all the Chuck Norris jokes. And so when I was scrolling around TikTok today, the one that I heard today that was absolutely perfect was Chuck Norris did not die today. He died 8 years ago. But the Grim Reaper needed the time to gather up the courage to go tell Chuck Norris. And I thought that was freaking awesome. The Chuck Norris jokes were by far some of my favorite one-line dad kind of jokes that I've ever heard in my life. But what are your favorites? You guys got a favorite Chuck Norris joke? I'll tell you another one that I'm really fond of is, one time a cobra bit Chuck Norris, and after 7 days of agony, the cobra finally died. It's sad, man. When you get to this age, all these heroes that you had as kids growing up are all passing away, and it's a sad, sad thing. Everybody has their time, though, right? Let's see what else. It is pretty long right now. Her brother and her uncle, and those are the other two dogs that are in the videos all the time. When I show her out in the yard playing with other dogs. Her uncle is a pure Rottweiler. He's 100% Rottie. And then her brother is literally from the same litter as her. So his dad was half Rottweiler or full Rottweiler, and the mom was purebred Australian Shepherd. He is kind of stout and big, and she is just much thinner and wiry compared to him. Well, there's really been no progress on the walls. I haven't really done anything as far as that goes. I'm probably going to take another week's vacation in May. I've got like 3 more weeks before I cycle again in August. So I don't really go on a vacation very much. But yeah, they'll get there. There's not a big hurry. The interior is the least worry in it would be nice to look at finished walls, but I'm working on electrical upstairs. Matter of fact, that's what I'm gonna be doing this weekend is doing some wiring and stuff upstairs. And I'm thinking to myself, and I say it when I'm recording what I'm doing up there, but if you're ever going to build a cabin that you don't have to move into right away, do yourself a favor and wire it first. And put plugs even though you don't think you're going to have electricity, even though you're going to be off grid, because it's a lot harder for me to wire this thing now that the plastic's on the wall and the insulation's in the walls and stuff than it would have been if I'd have just done it ahead of time. But I was in a hurry to get in here because the trailer that was a long enough life. Ward, I did not, but I got all the hardware in to do it. So that's another thing I'm probably going to work on this weekend. I took some measurements of the doorway out there and where the panels need to sit, because I'm doing the sliding barn doors. At least on the big door that goes into the wood storage part, I'm going to do a big sliding barn door on there. So I needed to measure enough height above the door to know where that was going to go. So I gave myself 8 inches, because they said when you're going to measure for that, give yourself at least 8 inches till you hit anything above it. So I measured 8 inches up, and I have plenty of room for where those panels are going to go. So I have the hardware. I'm probably going to do that this weekend. Nice. Rabbits are awesome. I don't have the time for them, but I had rabbits when I was a kid, and they're super cool. The neat thing about rabbits is, so if you have horses or you have cows, and I don't know about goats, but I would imagine they're probably the same, or sheep. If you want to use the manure from those animals, you have to let it age for like a year before, or else it's just way too hot with nitrogen. But with rabbits, you can use the rabbit manure right away in your garden. You don't have to wait for it to age or anything. It's ready to go. Dude, I was super lazy this week. I was absolutely lazy this week. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm very rested and very relaxed right now. Sarge is still waiting for his guest cabin. My kids are too. She does. She's giving me a break right now because, like I said, when she gets really frustrated, she sits there and starts growling and barking at me and runs over to the door like, "Come on, let's go, let's go." Sunshine, welcome. Awesome to see you. Hey, y'all, just saw the alert. We're painting the walls and trimming your master bedroom in our home. Very cool. Right on. Right on. Yeah, I'm not. I kind of mentioned over the last couple of weeks what my plans are for this year, and there's not really going to be any big building this year. I want to get some stuff cleaned up and finished up. So I want to get the doors installed on the shed. I want to get the window installed on the shop part. I need to run electricity out to there because I want to put a freezer in there. I want to get that done early so that when fish hit the river this year, I got a place to store fish. But I need a freezer anyway. I need to clean up all the dead trees I have around here. I need to get my firewood put away early from the dead trees. And the reason for that is because I'm pretty much out of firewood now. It's not a big deal. I have enough to burn. If I burn a fire every night for, every day in a row now, I probably have 2 weeks worth of firewood out there. But I don't burn a fire every single day. And it hasn't been too cold, so I don't really have to worry about it. Like right now in the cabin, I'm only running the buddy heater on its lowest setting, and it's 62 degrees in here. So, I mean, this year will be a lot of cleaning up. The greenhouse will be built, obviously, because I've got the arches built already for that, ready to go. That I'm thinking I should be able to get done in a weekend. And then, well, at least all framed up in a weekend. It might take me a little longer to get the plastic on it. But the rest of it's just going to be getting everything cleaned up and organized. And I'm getting frustrated with myself for all the projects that I've gotten to like 70 or 80% and not finished. So I want to get those cleaned up and done. Deb DeBoop, what's up? Hey, finally caught alive again. We're finally losing our snow here in southern Saskatchewan. You were plus 16 yesterday. Barbecue is back. There's never a time you can't barbecue. That is awesome. Awesome, awesome. Right? Yeah, it drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. Jillian, welcome. It is great to see you today. Afternoon, lying on my bed doing nothing, but I managed to shower without further injury. Good. That's all that matters, right? Woke up on the right side of the dirt, and you didn't injure yourself. That's a good thing. Excuse me. Chuck Norris got mad at dinosaurs once. Just once. I thought the funniest video I've ever seen with Chuck Norris was when Chuck Norris actually did a Chuck Norris joke, and it was, I think he was talking about a tiger. He went to pet a tiger. It was, and it was crying and growling, and there was crying and growling and scared and shaking involved, but eventually the tiger got up. But yeah, so that's kind of the plans for this year. Man, I'm looking outside. It's absolutely gorgeous today. It's absolutely pretty out there. My onions that I planted early this year so that I would have better onions this season. The white onions didn't germinate worth beans. I mean, I maybe have, I'm looking over there, it's maybe 15 white onions. The red onions are like this tall, right? They're like they're growing freaking great. So I'm super happy with that. The garden this year is going to be onions, potatoes. I'm going to throw in an extra bed and maybe do carrots or some greens outside. And then the greenhouse, I want to get some tomatoes and some maybe some peppers and some cucumbers would be nice. Some pickling cucumbers would be nice. So that I can make some pickles. Yeah. And I'm a sweet pickle guy, so I can make some bread and butter pickles, some sweet pickles, that kind of stuff. Oh my God, I've done that. How many times can someone break their tailbone? That is the most painful break. I did that when I lived in Fairbanks. And for 3 months, the only way I could sit down was to roll into a chair. And the only way I can get up was to roll out of the chair because there was no standing up and sitting down. It was, oh my God, I've never had something that painful in my life. Once I'm up, it was fine. But the getting up, the sitting down, couldn't get comfortable in bed. Oh God, it was miserable. It was miserable. I'm going to do some different stuff this year. So I'm going to grow reds because I love red potatoes. But I want to grow probably just two varieties, probably reds and Yukon Golds. And I think I got a decent yield last year out of potatoes. It was the first time I ever used that bed. So this year I'll take it and I'll do it in the other bed, and I'll do the onions in the potato bed so that way I can give a year between each time I plant in a bed with potatoes so that I don't get any blights or anything like that. Um, I think I planted too many potatoes too close together last year. So this year I'm going to plant those things about a foot apart and see if we can't get some much bigger potatoes than I got last year, and much more. So that's kind of the plan. Um, so probably two varieties. I'll go with the red and I'll go with the Yukon Gold, um, or a Kennebec. If I can get a Kennebec, that'd be nice too, because a Kennebec's a bigger potato that I could use for like homemade French fries and hash browns and that kind of stuff. Oh my God. You got to quit falling down. That's the only way you break that thing is to land on your butt. Oh, and I did it when I was water skiing in Fairbanks, Alaska in the middle of January. And I say water skiing because I had water skis. I was younger. I had water skis on. I was tied to the back of or had a rope tied to the back of my buddy's snow machine. And I was flying down the Chena River at like 30 miles an hour. And I was like water skiing on the frozen river, on the ice, on the snow. And then I came up out of the river and we went over this jump. And when I came up over the jump, I came down and landed on my butt. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I agree. Yukon Gold they're delicious. That's a good potato. Right? See? Ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That might be fun. Rainbow carrots. I want some longer storage stuff too, though. And then I have to figure out how I'm going to store them, obviously. But I want some longer storage stuff. Another project I'm planning on doing for sure early this year is an on-demand water heater with a 12-volt water pump, um, that I can run an outdoor shower out the back of the cabin, so that when I'm sweaty and dirty and I've worked all day long, I could just take a quick shower here without having to go somewhere. I'll just have one of the 55-gallon drums filled up and ready to go. So I want to do that this year. Everybody giving Jillian their sympathies. That is a tough one to have. That is a tough one to have. So yeah, I'm looking at, like I said, an on-demand water heater. Um, Obviously, propane, non-electric required, just because it's easier for me. I could wire it now. I mean, I have electricity. I have more electricity than I really can use right now. But I want the 12-volt RV pump, because there's no sense in, again, doing 110 when I could just wire it to 12 volts. And then one of the things I'm planning on doing when I wire the upstairs is wiring for a light and a ceiling fan that'll be kind of right. Look can see this right here. Kind of right up there. So right even with the edge of the loft and straight above. So that way I get the motion of the circulation of the air coming back down to the cabin when it warms up, when I have the wood stove going, and I still have circulation of air up in the bedroom in the loft area. Yeah, I know I can store them in sand, but my only problem is having a place to store them. That's the biggest issue. So the potatoes this year, I got through about half of them, and now they're pretty much all seed potatoes, and they're all starting to grow, because I needed the darkness. I needed a better place, a better way to store them. So I've planned on the bedroom going out this side, and now I'm planning on maybe throwing something out this side as well. Um, I need the room. I'm going to need the room, I think, uh, to get everything I want. So the nice thing about an on-demand water heater is, and Linda at Lipstick Lodge is making this comment, make sure you put a drain in the water heater, is that mine's going to be inside. The water heater is going to be inside. So I'm just going to run water to the outside, and then I'll set those lines up to be able to drain before winter gets here, so it doesn't freeze outside. So I can basically take the spout off outside and not have to worry about any water left in the line. Because it's going to be in the cabin, I really don't have to worry about it freezing, because it never really gets that cold in here. And as things progress, my indoor temperature will be warmer and warmer every winter without having to worry about, the fire will be, when I want to turn all the heat off, basically, and just relax and enjoy a fire. The last time was 2 weeks before a 10cc concert. Still enjoyed it, but boy, oh man, wet floor or wet feet, linoleum floor every time, every time. That's why shower tubs have stickers on the floor, man, so that you don't fall. It's nuts, crazy. Ryan Tinder from Fresno, California. Welcome, my friend. It is awesome to see you today. Glad you can make it. Sean, I'm sure you've discussed this before. How much would it cost to tap into the Alaska's water resources? So, a well is still a year or two down the road for me. But I would eventually, I will get there sooner than later. Probably 10 grand. I want to say probably anywhere from 5 to 10 grand. Anything that I would have to go with it. You know, I would want an upgraded electrical system so that I could power it properly. But yeah, I'm thinking 10 grand for a well. Ryan, here, let me. I keep trying to pull this picture up, and for whatever reason, it didn't want to. Let's see here. So I'll add this to the stage right now. So this was me cleaning bottles yesterday. And then let's pull up an image file. I'll show you guys if I can get it to work. Let's try that one. There we go. So that is the color of the beer right there. The taste is incredible. It's rich, malty, good mouthfeel, much better than the last beer that I did. So rich, malty, a good mouthfeel, and a nice hop bitterness, but not overpowering. And then it's got a little hop aroma, but once it conditions and it gets carbonated, that aroma will go up. But yeah, I'm super, super stoked with how it turned out. Yeah, that's kind of, Renee's got a great comment here. The building never stops, big pantry. And I want a bigger pantry than I have. I don't have a problem with that pantry, but it's too small. And when I build the bedroom on, it's going to go the full length of the cabin. So it's going to be 10 to 12 feet wide, and it's going to be 24 feet long. The bedroom will be at the front, and at the back is where I will eventually move all my electrical, and all my utility stuff will be in that back room. And then it will give me more room in the pantry to do stuff, because the battery rack will be gone and I could put other racks in there. But yeah, man, if you want to do this, so I being on vacation this week, I didn't go to town until I got off work on Friday. I did go to town on Saturday, but it was only to the highway. I didn't go into town. I stopped off at SBS and picked up lumber for the last of these bows. So I really didn't go shopping again until Wednesday. But I want to get myself, once I get the freezer and everything situated, I'll get myself to the point where I don't need to shop, but maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks. And that's kind of where I want to be. Going to get fresh stuff once every 2 or 3 weeks and having all the rest of the stuff already here, ready to go. Before, I'm a proponent of having lots of food on hand, right? So that you don't ever have to go to the store, or if something happens, you've got everything you need. I would eventually like to have 3 to 6 months worth of food on hand at the cabin at all times, because it would just be much easier for me. And then, I make my own beer. I'm going to make my own cheese, make my own bread. I can do all that stuff. So, as long as I have flour and the ingredients that I need, it's not a problem. Right? Golden delicious. Oh, no. Dog got the zoomies and he went down on a concrete path. My mom, years ago, when I lived in California, Mom was still with us. She lived with me in a house that I was renting. And I had a border collie, and his name was Spike. And Mom used to put Spike on one of those retractable leashes. Well, I don't believe in those things, because I think they're dangerous. And they were, because this dog was super skittish, and he was like way off to the side, and they were walking down the street, and the leash knocked a garbage can over, and the dog shot off out of fear and my mom went through the air like Mary Poppins, and she broke her freaking pelvic bone, and that was miserable. She was in bed for a month and a half, waiting for that thing to set and to heal before she could get up and move around again. It was absolutely miserable for her. I like that. My picture is going to be huge, right, Ward? Terry, yeah, staycation's almost over. I I mean, it's call me old, but I did this when I lived in California. I would go camping when I went on vacation because I love being in the woods. Well, now I live in the woods, and I would much rather just stay home than go anywhere. I mean, I go down and see my kids, right? I go see my oldest daughter in Tuolumne. Every year in October, I head down there, and I'll be going down there again this year in October. But other than that, I'm happy where I'm at. My brother was in Mexico for the whole winter, basically rented a condo down there, and he said, when you get a week's vacation, bro, come on down, man. You just stay down here for free. All you got to pay is your airfare, and I would have got that for free with air miles that I have with Alaska Airlines. And I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I just want to stay home. Todd's at the pit stop. Where's it at here? I saw that. Todd's at the pit stop having ice cream with the dogs. The pit stop's our local little store. He's putting in a laundromat there, which is super cool. They've got pay showers and everything else. But once he puts the laundromat in, I won't be driving to town for laundry anymore. I'll just drive down there and do my laundry. He's doing 4 washer dryer combos, and he's rocking along on it. And supposedly he's supposed to be done next month. Jeff, if you see this, get busy. I'm not retiring this year. Probably next. I mean, since I got to go on Medicare anyway at 65, I'll be 64 this year. So I might pull the trigger next year. I don't have a problem with working. I just wish that I could figure a way to make myself more money so I could just stay home and work here all the time. But I mean, I don't mind I work in retail, so I have regular customers I see every day. I manage the dairy, so you know nobody's ever mad at me because I always have what they need. Um, and it's not a bad gig. It's physical work. It's hard work. I got to keep myself well paced every day. It'll be a nightmare when I get back on Monday. But I don't have a problem working. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. And I love the paycheck. Like that. Me or you? You. So Dennis is asking, do I have plans to finish the interior of the cabin? The walls and ceiling are still fiberglass. So yes, they are, but they're covered in plastic and they're all vapor barriered, so it's all taped off. And I would like to get those finished. Um, but I need to get some other stuff organized and cleaned up. And originally I had thought that would be a great project, getting the ceiling done and the walls done and everything would be a great project for winter. But honestly, there's no room in here in winter to do half of the work that I need to do. So that's going to be a summer project. So part of that's going to get done, I think, this year. I think, like I said earlier, and you might have just got here, Dennis, that there's really, other than the greenhouse and maybe a couple of other small projects, most of what I plan on doing this year is finishing up the stuff I haven't finished yet. So, where I got myself to anywhere from 50 to 70% on some projects, I need to get them to 90 to 100%. And that means the inside of the cabin as well. So yeah, I'd like to get that done this year before the next winter. Right? Pace yourself. there's such a thing as pace yourself and such a thing as, laying down too long. I think I've been laying down too long. I need to get busy again. Right, a staycation on the deck, listening to peepers is so awesome. My next one I'm actually already planning. I'm planning on taking a week off in May. And my birthday is May 17th, so I'll probably take that week off. Let's see when that is. Pull my calendar up here. March, April, May 17th is on a Sunday. So if I take that next week off, I'm already off on Saturday and Sunday. If I take that next week off, it'll be pretty nice, and I'm pretty sure that we won't have any snow on the ground. All the ice should be gone by then. So that's my next week I'm probably going to take. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things that I did wrong when I built this place, but it was the first place I ever built. There's a lot of things I did right. I think the biggest change, if I had to go back and do this all again, would have been just to bite the bullet and spend the rest of the winter in that trailer because it was miserable. I'd been in a trailer for at that point 7 years in either the motorhome on the first property or the fifth wheel on this property, and it was just miserable living like that. It was just so cold. It was crazy. Summers were fine, but it was just so cold, and the roofs were leaking. I mean, I tell you some stories that were, I can't tell you the number of times I woke up because the seal broke on the overhead vent in the bed in the sleeping area, the raised master bedroom of that fifth wheel trailer. And I woke up to rain just pouring through, soaking the bed, soaking the mattress, soaking me. Miserable, just miserable. So I would have bit the bullet and done a lot more finishing inside here before I moved in. But at the time, I didn't have the money either. So I mean, this whole thing was built on cash. I didn't, I didn't take loans out to build it. I was paying as I went. Um, and one of the things I would have done, like I said earlier, is I would have run a lot of electrical in here, even though I didn't plan on being connected to the grid. I never plan on being connected to the grid. It would cost way too much to bring power to me, and I don't want a monthly bill anyway. We're talking $40,000 to $50,000 to bring power. Uh, According to my neighbor that leveled out the lot next door, I think he was quoted $54,000 to bring power to his property. So, yeah, there's a lot of things I would have done differently, but at the same time, it was a great learning experience. I mean, if you watch the build of this cabin compared to the build of that shed, and that shed is half the size of this cabin. Um, what I learned from this to that was amazing, and the next structure that I build will happen so quick it'll be ridiculous because you just build on your experience and you build on your confidence every time. And I'd never built anything at all before I built this. Oh, Renee, your birthday's on May 9th. Very cool. My brothers are May 8th. My I have two brothers that are 11 months younger than I am, and they're identical twins, and their birthday's May 8th. Very cool. My dad was May 13th. Excuse me. Chores can kill you if done right. Kidding, right? No, they can. They can. I don't know. And I have to stop one of my biggest problems, personal problems, is um, I tolerate a lot. So I can deal with adverse conditions and just make them a part of my life. So it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing too because I get too comfortable. Um, and like I'm using an outhouse still. There's no reason I couldn't have built some kind of a bathroom at this point, but I'm still using an outhouse because you know what? It's easier and I'm used to it. Yeah, so that can be an issue for Sean. Yeah, right, Ward. Thank you very much, man. And Ward was my go-to for anybody who doesn't know. Whenever I had, so I met Ward via the brewery, Kenai River Brewing Company, and somebody said you're building a cabin, you got to go talk to Ward. So I talked to Ward, and he said, "Well, you want to build it yourself?" And I said, "Yeah, I want to build it myself." And he said, "Okay, so here's what I'll do. You come to me if you've got questions, and I'll talk you through the questions and help you make the decisions, but you're going to make all the decisions." So he was a sounding board for everything I do. Like I would be setting something up, get ready to do something, and he'd come by and he'd say, "What are you doing?" And I explained to him, and he'd look at me and he'd go, "Do you really want to do that?" Usually, when he said, "Do you really want to do that?" I didn't want to do that. I needed to do it a different way. So it was super awesome because I learned more doing it myself and doing it that way than I think I ever would have done if I would have just say hired somebody, which was not financially in the picture. If I would have just hired him and been his helper, I wouldn't have learned anything. But because he made me think, I learned a ton. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. Oh, your birthday will be the next Monday, huh? Very cool. Linda said, "Yikes! I lived in my trailer the first winter. Every morning at 3:30, your battery went down, so my furnace was not running until about 7:30 a.m. I was allowed to start my Jenny early because of the cold. Oh my gosh, that's nuts." That was so. Linda brings up a great point, and this will be, I guess, I'm reminiscing now. Um, so I moved up here in what I call the mobile man cave, and that is the motorhome that's sitting on my property right now. And then I was on Facebook Marketplace and I saw a deal for the fifth wheel trailer, and I bought that for $1,500, and I lived in that for 5 years. So I paid $300 a year for that trailer. That's how I look at it. That's how my math works in my head all the time. Well, when I bought it, it had a heater and the heater worked. And I'll never forget the first time it was cold and I fired up that heater because I had propane in the tank and I was ready for all that. I wasn't worried about that. And I fired up that heater and the air would blow from the bottom of the bed up towards the head of the bed, and my toes were toasty warm. It was and then the heater failed. So the heater failed before I moved on to this property, which meant I didn't have the benefit of that. I wouldn't have had the benefit of that anyway because it requires electricity to run that heater, even though it's propane too. But yeah, I don't know. There were so many times it was like absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. Matt AK, what's up, brother? I'm working on my new Alaska trailer now. It's 87 degrees. Rub it in, buddy. It's not here. Get ready for cold, Matt. Get ready for cold. Lori and Todd, how are you guys doing? It is great to see you. I'm looking forward to you guys coming up. Take your time, though, because right now it's just ice and snow. That's all we got. Ice and snow. Renee says, love watching you and Ward, Todd helping you. I'm telling you, I've met some of the neatest people since I moved up here. And we all get along, man. It's great. And Lori and Todd, that's the other Todd in the group. So he's T2. I do too, man. I used to call I call my kids on their birthdays, and I'm terrible about my grandkids. I mean, I know my kids' birthdays, but I'm a guy. I don't, you know, people used to, when I was married, my ex-wife used to give me cards all the time, and I would say, "Don't give me a card. Write me a note." I go, "Because I'm going to take the card," and I go, "Oh, thank you," and I'm going to throw the card away. I go, "I know it's important for you to get a card, so I'll give you a card." I go, "But for me, it's, birthday's just another day." So I remembered my daughters always, right? I'll always remember their birthdays. But my grandkids, I'm absolutely terrible with. So my kids have to send me a message and say, "Hey, it's your grandson's birthday today." And okay, which one? Right? I'll call. Old School Alaska, how are you doing? It is awesome, awesome to see you. Be careful what you wish for, my friend. All right, the winter was warm in Utah. It was not warm in Alaska. It was crazy. Ooh, sounds like my roof shedding a little bit. So, interesting fact, because of the way that the house is pointed, right? My house faces south. This wall faces south. This wall faces north. So it doesn't get direct sunlight, which means that even though there's no snow on this side of the roof, right up here, that side of the roof has snow about this deep still on it, which is a good sign that I insulated the place, right? Because the snow's staying there. It's not melting from the inside out. But I can't wait till that breaks loose because I'm thinking that this cabin's probably going to shake because it's just on one side. I turned on a stove burner and cracked a window open, right? Yeah. You do what you got to do. You do what you got to do. Oh, yeah. God. Arizona, 105 today. It's crazy. The Midwest, though, the West Coast and the Midwest are incredibly crazy warm. Jolie pops in here all the time. And I've known Jolie for years. And so her and I message each other all the time. She messages me and she goes, "We got snow today." And I'm all, "Yeah, we're 20 below zero today." Right. The next day she messaged me, "It's 70 degrees. All the snow's gone." The next day, it's snowing again. she lives in she, she lives in Illinois, and it's just the weather there's been absolutely nuts this year. Yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy. What we got here? How long have we been on for? Holy smokes, we're almost at an hour. I've been doing nothing but talking this live. This is crazy. I'm gonna need to freaking rest my throat when I'm done. Maybe have a beer. But yeah, just I'm happy I did what I did. I'll never second guess myself. I mean, I look back and I say shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but I don't dwell on that. I just deal with what I did and try and make it work better from this point going forward. I'm going to build the door. I'm going to build the barn door for the shed, for the woodshed side. So it's 5 feet wide. So I'll go like 2 inches extra on each side. So it'll be 5'4" when it's done. I'm planning on a sliding barn door on there. So I'll probably put a header on it so that when I finish the outside with wood, um, with whatever I'm going to finish it with, the door will slide clear with no problem at all. So I'll probably put not a header, but a backing board on it, like a 1x6 or a 1x8 or something to screw through. Um, this front door is still, I'm still thinking this front door is going to end up going on the shop side because I'll have a lot of tools out there that I need to make sure I keep locked up. I don't think I've ever locked my cabin. I locked it when I put the door on. I locked it one time to see if it would lock. That was it. My whole philosophy is if you want to steal from me, open the door and just come in and steal. Don't break something so that I can't close it off and keep it warm. If that makes sense, I can replace stuff, but I don't need my cabin. If I'm at work, I don't need somebody, and it's 20 below out. I don't need somebody breaking a window to get in here and steal stuff. And then the house stays absolutely cold for the rest of it until I get home from work, and then I got to figure out how to fix the window. So yeah, it's but I would like to be able to lock up the shop, and then what else? I'll build the barn door. I want to get this door changed out for a nicer front door. Um, I want to get some wiring done and that ceiling fan installed. I'm going to work on that this weekend. Uh, I had a viewer actually send me. I had a 12-volt ceiling fan on my um, Sean in Alaska Amazon wish list, and they bought it for me and sent it to me. And now I'm like, well, shoot, I can run 110. So I think I'm just going to run 110. It'll be a lot easier, a lot brighter. Steve, what's up, brother? Awesome to see you, my friend. I hope you're taking Christy out somewhere nice for dinner tonight, or at least grilling for her. That would be good, right? Fix her one of your meals. That's kind of my philosophy too. If you just put your mind to getting something done, what's the old saying? Um, yeah, when you're married and you tell your wife you're going to do something, she needs to trust that you're going to do it, not ask you every 6 months when it's going to get done. Trail Camp Pete, what's up? Good to see you, my friend Rob at Curmudgeon. If you guys don't follow Rob, you need to follow him at Curmudgeon. He's got some great, great content. He lives way off the grid. Um, and he just got a new generator that I'm just amazed by. That little diesel generator you got, man. That thing is freaking awesome. That is a super cool piece of equipment. I don't need a generator. I have one. I need one in winter. That's about it to top everything off. But you run a lot more than I do as far as power goes. But if I get one, I'll probably pick up one of those because that's a nice unit. Everybody saying hi to everybody else. Sarah, not Sharon, knucklehead. I wouldn't correct anybody but Ward. Oh, she's right behind me, napping on the couch right now. You missed her. She jumped up here to say hi to everybody when we first got started. Suzanne, welcome. Good to see you. Awesome, awesome to have you here today. Thank God it's Friday to you as well. I think that's about going to wrap it up. We're almost done here, folks. You got an Airbnb in Munns Park for 8 days. Took her to an Italian restaurant for lunch. Nice, nice. Italian food is famous, I think, for dinners, but an Italian lunch is just, yeah, yummy, yummy, yummy. I love Italian food. I love Italian food. I love Mexican food. I love American food, obviously, right, which is a combination of everything. But I'm not a big fan of Asian food. I'm not a big fan of Chinese food. Um, I I can't really do a lot of stuff that they cook in peanut oil because I don't like the flavor. It's not the peanut oil bothers me because I'll fry with peanut oil, but there's something about the flavor that it gives the food that I don't really care for. Rob says, not really. Our power consumption is pretty low. Most of the time, we're drawing between 70 and 200 watts on your system. So yeah, right now I'm drawing 160 watts right now. That refrigerator, all the hard drives, the 55-inch monitor, the laptop, all that stuff. I'm drawing a total of 160, did I say? Well, it's down to 140 now. So same thing. I mean, it's just would be nice to have, because I know you've got it for the same reason why I would have it, which would be to top everything up in winter. Make sure I get to the end of all the comments on here and answer everything I got. Nice. I like that. That's very, very cool. Well, it's time to header here, and hope you all have an awesome weekend. What a way to start it off. The live stream has made it that much better. Thank you very much. It tweets me. I greatly appreciate it. You guys, thanks as always for the encouragement, the support, the constant comments, the following, the watching of the videos, the suggestions, because I do take them into mind, and for putting up with me. I can be a knucklehead. Knuckleheads of the world unite. Karen, I saw you. I didn't know you were here. Welcome. Glad to see that you made it. With that said, folks, thank you guys. As always, I am Sean in Alaska. I'm going to get off of this thing, cook dinner, take the pup out to play for a little bit in the yard first, I think. And we'll see you guys all next Friday. Let me know if the time works or doesn't work. We'll discuss that next week. But we'll keep doing it at 3 p.m. Alaska Standard Time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Pacific. And if a time change needs to go, just let me know. And, I'm flexible as far as that goes on Fridays. Fridays are not a big day for me. I get home from work usually, and I don't have a lot planned, and I'm ready to unwind. So I think this will be awesome on a work day. You guys, thanks as always. Have a great day. Texas Butterfly, we're out the door. You just missed it, but I wanted to say hello to you. We'll talk to you all later. See ya. Bye-bye.